representing the heaven, earth and hell. Technically way, they decorated the stages. On these stages, they use flying angels, fire sporting devils, and machinery also, aerial deities, god, goddess. These things gave full entertainment to the spectators, and spectators felt pleasure and got enjoy to watch out these plays. In 1600 or in 17th century, you can say, the mystery plays had fallen somewhat into decline. It is said that time people were getting interest in theatre dramas because the coming period was Renaissance period. I have already told you about the theatres. Theatres were introduced in Shakspearean period, Globe and Blackfriars. The most famous example of the mystery play was Everyman. It was very famous play in those days. Now, we will discuss about the university verse. I think you have studied about university verse in your second semester, the history of English literature. Am I right? Yes, tell me. Am I right? You're right, absolutely. In Renaissance period, when you studied 14th century, 15th century and 16th century, the Renaissance period and flowering period, the time is started from 15th to 16th century, so you have studied. This is the picture of the writer. Let's guess who is. Yes, John Milne. You know, the one thing which was common in these university verse was heroic theme. These university verse have used heroic theme in their dramas, and they have explained the elements of heroic and its tragic nature in their dramas also. some writers say that the heroic theme related with tragic nature, some of extent they are right, because when we go through the dramas of Shakespeare, Thomas Keats, Christopher Marlowe, we come to know that these dramas have tragic end. If you go through the light of Shakespeare's tragedies, dramas, you will come to know about this point. Okay, well, this time we will discuss about John Lilly. John Lilly was born in 1554 and he got his early education from Magdalen College, Oxford. Lilly wrote comedies which were intended for the child actors in royal service. His charming romantic plays are all comedies. The names of the plays are Women in the Moon, Endymion, Sappho and Phasm, Alexander and Compassed, Midas, Mother Bombay, and Love Metamorphosis. These were the name of Lilly's plays. Lilly elaborated the romantic sentiments in his plays. He brought on the English stage the elements of high comedy, wits and fantastic charm. His wit consists of pun, humor, Lilly's subjects are taken mostly from mythology and legend. He introduces pastoral scenes to allegorize his plays. Their characters are personification of nature, of concord and discord. He mingled the tragedy and comedy, pathos and humor in his plays. He freely blended the different segment of existence and different world. That is why Shakespeare has studied Lilly. He borrowed some elements, literary elements of Lilly and write down his dramas. But when Shakespeare wrote his dramas or plays were strong than Lilly's work, because Shakespeare the style arrangement of words and sequence of sentence were very strong. Getting inspiration from Lily, Shakespeare wrote these plays: Love, Labour, Lost, Midsummer Night Dream, As You Like It. But Shakespeare's work is so strong than Lily. What and Colin have said about Lily. Lily's greatest service to the drama consists in his writing plays in prose. Lily's sparkling dialogue gave Shakespeare an excellent model to follow, and greater dramatist is probably intended to him for his first teaching in court style and for hints as to light touch the proper for handling of classical legend and fairy lore. These were the comments of Watt and Collins about Lily. Now, we will discuss here Robert Greene. I would like show off the Robert Greene's picture in this laptop. You know Robert Greene? I think you know, because you have studied English, history of English literature. Okay, students, Robert Greene. Robert Greene was born in Norwich in 1558. He did MA from Oxford University. That is why these people were called universities. Greene contributed greatly to the development of romantic comedy. In his plays, the realism and idealism were found. His characterization is so strong, and he introduced the individual characters through mystery and miracle plays. He brings the comedy in his style, and he creates humor in his work also. He plays, his work is prominent. He wrote plays. His plays are 5 in numbers. Alphonsus, King of Aragon. When he wrote down the King of Aragon, he imitated Marlowe. Marlowe's play Tamburlaine. This is the tragedy play of Marlowe. A looking glass for London and England is written with the collaboration of Lodge. It is a mixture of elements from the moralities and modern Elizabethan style. Yes, I know. All of you understand. All of you got about style. Okay, well, tell me, what is style? Yes. When we want to expose the follies and weak point of other person's things, we just get the appreciated layer and then we uttered something which we want to say and we trigger our message which we want to say. Okay, students, now we will discuss about the other play of Greene, Friar Bacon and Friar Bungay.